Hey there, everyone. Hello there, and welcome. It is Thursday, and welcome to the live training series that we try and do every day so that we can help you up-level your training results. And today we're actually talking about measuring training results. I have a really quick question for everyone. I'd love to know, do you have a metric in place now? Do you actually use something in your Kajabi or your Thinkific, or do you have a spreadsheet? What is it that you track? Do you track anything? Why would you do that, right? And what kind of value does that actually bring for you? And there's a specific reason that I'm asking that question today. I'm just trying to get my PowerPoint up here and rolling, is because we want to talk about what actually creates, what actually creates success or results in your training program. Well, how would you even know if you're not even tracking the level to which people are completing? So go ahead, drop in the chat for me right now. Do you know your success rate? Do you know your completion rate? And if you're not actually doing those yet, don't worry. We're going to make this conversation today about what you should be tracking and why. And then I'm going to help you with some very simple, a very simple concept that we've developed inside our Disruptive Spark training formula that will help you to get really good at understanding where you're missing the opportunities to push that level forward so that you can have more consistent results. So hello, and let me say just a quick hello and introduce myself. If we have not had a chance to meet yet, hello, I am Susan Gaddy. I am a long-term training strategist. I serve as a fractional CFO in many, many corporations. But I'm also an online entrepreneur. I've owned my own business in the online entrepreneur world for over 15 years, and that has grown and grown and grown over the years. So I love to say I am not just a training person, but I'm also a business person. And I think that unique marriage of how does the training that we're creating ultimately impact the business that you're looking to grow and develop, or the people within your business that you're looking to elevate and get results through your training with. We kind of bring that whole thing together. And I did create a few years ago now something I call the Disruptive Spark training formula, which is the 4-step process for how do you create training that is actually what we love to say transformational, not just informational, first of all. And then secondly, how do you maintain, right? How do you implement and maintain it so that you are continuously improving and helping your people to get better results? So on Thursdays, I love to just sort of pull up some big nuggets around massive themes that are showing up in all of the different places that we serve and help people with this Disruptive Spark training formula. And nothing has been more, I guess, relevant, more in conversation this week than this thing that I've been hearing over and over again about how people are ready to burn their program to the ground. I don't know if any of you have experienced that yet. There's this phenomenon that happens as you get really good at sales and marketing of your program, right? Because if you're going to have a training program, you have to be able to market and sell it. It's kind of the first skill that you have to learn. And when you get really good at that, your program grows exponentially. The problem is we have sort of business owners and marketing experts teaching training strategy, and we actually don't really know all of the levers that go into helping people to complete a training program and actually get results. So it's not uncommon that as your program grows, this is usually a growth issue, that you start to see some of the most common issues. I'm going to put what some of these common issues are. I'm going to say them. I would love for you to say whether this is something that you've experienced. One, all of a sudden, like, where does everybody go? Right? They bought the program, they're working on the program. Next thing you know, they're not showing up to sessions. They're not showing up to the group. We don't see them active in the community. Sort of all kinds of things can happen in there. The other thing that we hear all the time is that the program itself starts to feel very cumbersome. And this is the section, right? So cumbersome. What does that mean? It means that, I have this like same program I am getting results. I know it works, but I'm not getting consistent results. I have, people over here that are knocking it out of the park, and I have people all the way over here that are screaming for their money back, and everything in between. And I think what I hear kind of most from people in these situations is that they don't even really understand the levers that are in play and that make that difference. So it's one of the reasons that we say, forgive me, I'm just trying to get to a little piece of content that I want to show you. I think I finally got myself there. It's one of the reasons that we say, this is why you need a training strategist, because there is theory. Oh, great. And we do have some. Hey, Anne-Marie, it's so good to see you. Yeah, you have completion data rate as well. And yes, it's right into sales data. Awesome. I love it. So let me show you how having that information and then implementing what we know to be true about human performance can really help you to skyrocket those results. I want to show you something. I'm going to pull myself out of the stream and make this, actually, I'm going to make this nice and big. I'm going to pull myself out. It's this concept of the willingness curve. This is within, hey, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. We're just getting into something that we've just been playing around with. I would love your feedback on this graphic. We're trying to stay away from people these days. It's really complicated. Anyone in training, it's really complicated to represent the level of diversity you want to represent. So for smaller things like this, we've opted to forego people at all and just sort of get into the monster. So give me thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you like the concept itself? I'd love just a little feedback on that. But this is actually what's happening when someone starts your training program, right? This is you over here. Hopefully you can see my pointer. And in the pool is the result that you want people to get, right? The completion of the program, the result that we want them to achieve. And then there's this whole curve. This is supposed to look like a bell curve. You can tell me whether you think it looks like a bell curve or not, of where people are as far as how willing are they to jump into the pool with you, right? So you're the program owner. This is you over here. The pool is amazing. You're going to love it. Here's everything you need. You can get into the pool. And what we need to be able to evaluate with relative ease and quickness is, where are people on this curve? If you're interested in a little bit of information about where the curve came from, take a look at the innovation of diffusion and also take a look at the tipping point by Malcolm Gladwell. Both of these research studies really went into creating this, because in a given population of people, you have people at every range of the spectrum. So you have people that really just needed some quick clarity and some information, maybe a little encouragement from you, and they jumped right in the pool. And so they're over here with the wild success. These are the people you see having wild success, because whatever you were teaching was just close enough to them that they could grasp it. Everybody over here is a little bit more further from being at this breakthrough point, right? We call this the breakthrough point, where we get people in the pool. And if you look, we kind of added this little graphic because there's always anybody on this side. They have to take, and let me just bring myself in here because I want to really be clear about this. Anyone on this side of the graphic, they have to take an uncomfortable, unfamiliar, sometimes awkward action. And we know as adults, as human beings, this is about the least, this is about the least thing we ever want to be or do. And if you follow Amy Williamson at all, she talks a lot about, and you're hearing a lot about it more and more and more, and I'm so happy that you are, this concept of psychological safety. If it's not safe for me to make this last little leap, I won't. So I can go through your whole training program. I can learn all of your information. I can show up to every single class. But if I am unwilling or unable, right? That's why this is the willingness curve, to take that uncomfortable action with consistency, I won't ever get in the pool. So I hope that this adds some immediate clarity around, why do some people get results relatively easy? And for some others, they're saying the program is awful. And then there's these people here in the middle of the road that are just sort of the class is good, but I'm not really getting, I don't really see, right? It's because they're either, we're almost in the pool already and they just needed, right? Those little nuggets from you, which they got from your training, and they were in the pool. Everybody else over here is at a different level of willingness. Now, I can't really do this justice in this amount of time, but I do want to show you how this equates in just this next slide. So this is the willingness slide that we have actually cultivated, and that we use this in our practice to help train advisors to get really good at helping people to get over that slide of courage and into the pool consistently. This is the key right here. Understanding this willingness curve, being able to identify where people are on the willingness curve is what gets them into the pool. That's where you start getting consistent rates. Earlier, I asked about, well, let's just look at the willingness curve. So if you think back to our monsters, this is like you, right? You're like already here, you're in the pool. And then you have this high achieving group of people that were already on the cusp, and they were really to jump right in the pool with you already. These are the people saying, I have an idea. I can't wait. I'm in the pool with you. Notice this is about 15% of your population. It's quite small. So if you're not seeing the level of results that you want to, it means that you have people in your program that are stuck somewhere. There's something limiting their ability or stopping their ability to actually follow through and take the actions that they learned from your training. And this literally becomes the bulk, really the bulk of the people in your training program. So the people up here, there's a yes, but. For the people over here, it's I can't do that, right? A completely different feel. And for a smaller population on the other side, they're literally saying this just is not for me. And let me just make this nice and big, because I really want you to get a sense for the massive implications of this. Your yes, but, and your I can't do that people are the people that you can get into the pool with consistency once you learn how to identify these two sections and have the mechanisms in place to get them in the pool, right? To get them over the finish line. These are the two easiest to identify. They're also the two easiest to convert. Not even going to talk about not for me today, because that's a completely different level and requires some advanced knowledge and skill. But if you just look at these numbers, right? If you, and Anne-Marie, hopefully you're catching the back end of this. If you want to increase those completions, right? Get more sales, whatever it is you want your training to do, how do you capture the people saying, well, I would do that, but, and how do you capture the people that are like in their mind saying, I don't think I can do that? And the best way I can delineate these two is I would do that, but just means I need a little extra information, maybe some clarity, and a little opportunity to practice in a safe environment. This is where things like role plays, simulations, group projects, things like that, as you incorporate these, into your training program, this relieves a lot of the yes, but, because this is sort of like a skill-based, right? Well, I would, but I don't know. I tried it once. It didn't go so well. Maybe I will try it again, right? If we can just get these people in a little bit more consistent action, they'll be in the pool with you. Over here is generally some sort of belief system within them that's making them believe it's not possible. I can't do that. And I can only give you, I love to give this example because I actually really hate social media. It's a big part of my life. I find it really emotionally draining, and it's a necessary part of what I do in order to connect with people. But I find it really emotionally draining, and so I try and do it sparingly. And I do it in the way that's most comfortable for me, which is not the singing and the dancing and a lot of the things that we're seeing on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. But what's interesting, so when you think about what I just said, right? If I were to place over here, I can't do that, is what I'm saying. It's not that I just don't understand a couple of details. I actually fundamentally have a really hard time thinking that I could do something like that. So there is specialized content that you need to build into your program to help people get past the I can't do and get into the pool along with you. So, in this short amount of time, I am really hoping that this sort of, at least for the very least, and this is kind of how I look at it, it gave you a sense for why are some people knocking it out of the park, right? Why do I have like this middle of the road group of people that seem to be interested, but don't really seem to be getting results? How could I give them even more? And then what do I do about the people that are just, really struggling, don't seem to be meeting with success at all? Like, I want you to know that that's just life in a group program. You're not doing anything wrong. Like what I see people that have spent years building, a program that has like hundreds of people in it and is making their businesses so much money that is actually providing so much value, really considering like just shuttering the whole thing. I just want to be like, just not yet. Like, not yet. It's actually really predictable. It's absolutely solvable. And there's just a few more things that you need to understand and a couple of things that you need to put in place. So let's just run through this one more time. Feel free to, continue to drop any questions in the chat because it really is so powerful. Just even being able to understand that, remember, this is you right here. You're in the pool. Your advisory team, your implementation team, whatever you call your people, you're in the pool and your job is to get as many people in the pool with you as possible. These folks, you don't have to work very hard to get in the pool. They were already with you from the start. They're good. We want them in the pool and we want them talking about their success because they give these people a lot of inspiration. But really, for right now, be thinking about what's the but. What do I need to give them? What's that little extra that if I remove a clarity obstacle, if I give them a chance to practice, if I let them verbalize that they're nervous about trying something and coach them through it, can I put them in a collaborative environment where we role play or safely discuss the issues that have been problems for us? We can be converting these super quick. Like you will immediately start changing your numbers. This group too, they'll love you for life too. If you can remove that can't for them, because they want you to, by the way, they really want you to. If you can remove that can't for them, you'll see your numbers. This group of population should really be putting you at a square 85%. That's really what we're looking to see people do, be squarely at that 85%. This guy over here, this gal over here, we don't really have time to talk about this one today. We'll save this for another day. But this one over here is really like, you get that one into the pool, they'll love you forever. They will love you forever. They will be your biggest champion and supporter. And honestly, we get the most gratitude and praise from this group of people over here. So don't give up on them because they're really special. They're really special people. They hold a lot of power and they're really good people to get in the pool as well. So let me know, am I adding value? Is this helping you out? Please remember, this is what we do for a living. Yes, I am a entrepreneur. I do know how to market and sell, but my expertise is truly how do we help you to create training programs, design them, first of all, so that what you're measuring has impact and value, that it actually will change a metric in your business. That's the first and foremost part of this. But then secondly, how do we help you to get even more impact and value by getting more people through the process and into the pool? So I can help you in any way. Please don't hesitate to reach out. I love to hear about what you're working on, whether it's working well for you or not. And wherever we are connected, whether it's in the Training That Transforms Facebook group, LinkedIn, on the Facebook platter, Facebook, on the Facebook, my business channel, please consider inviting a friend to join us. The more, the merrier. And I wish you all an amazing rest of your week.